It's a joy to be with you on this Monday of the Word of Encouragement. And today I'd like to go to a verse that is one that we know, but it's one that we need to deeply believe. In chapter 6, we have the principle of what we sow, we reap. And how easily it is for us to be deceived about our life. And that's what it says in verse 7, "Be not deceived, God is not mocked." You can't fool God. "For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of his flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting." We love those verses, challenged by those verses. We need to realize that everything we do has consequences. Every moment we're just in the flesh. We're not depending on the Spirit. We're not walking by His power. We are sowing fleshly things that will eventually come out in a corrupt harvest. And if we are walking in the Spirit, sowing things that are of God, well, then we'll reap that which will last for eternity. And then there's that concluding verse, and that's what I want to focus on here to encourage you. "And let us not be weary in well-doing." In other words, sowing in the Spirit. "For in due season we shall reap if we faint not." Oftentimes we find ourselves discouraged because we've really been endeavoring to walk with God. And we are endeavoring to each step of the way do what He would have us to do, and we know that He's working in us, and yet there just seems to be all kinds of different issues that are coming up. Well, oftentimes we don't realize that it takes a while for the harvest to come. Just like in the natural world, you sow seed, you're not going to have a harvest for a while. I remember how frustrated I was as a child. I would sow flower seeds or corn seeds, and I thought for sure in the next day or two I'd see something, and it took time, but it was always exciting when I finally reaped. And oftentimes we are sowing things from our past, or reaping things from that which we've sowed in our past, and we are not seeing the spiritual harvest that will inevitably come because we are being faithful to the Lord. And this is to me something that needs to be continually given to believers, because we're so used to immediate results. And we get discouraged that, we're doing right. Why is there this set of problems? Well, look, there's a couple reasons for it. Number one, God allows trials, and there may be something just independent of your situation that's going on. Or it could be that there were some things that you did in the past that just is affecting what's going on now, but you're going to reap very soon the consequences of really walking with God. And this is what I'm trying to help you avoid. I hear people say, well, I've been doing right and it just doesn't seem to pay. My friends, doing right is worth it regardless, but it always does pay, from the sense that God always honors His word. And so be patient, be not weary in well-doing, keep doing right, and believe me, you will see God's hand, maybe in different ways than you even expect, but you'll see the harvest of His favor in His blessing if you'll trust Him and be patient and look to Him alone for the blessings in your life.